Welcome, all you +2 comedy modifiers, back to Solving the Witness, a laid-back, annotated Let's Play where we try to look at the deeper underlying meanings of Jonathan Blow's The Witness. TV's Noah here, and I am sick. But I really want to get this episode out because you guys have waited a very long time to see me enter this exact room. So, we're going to push through. Little bit of housekeeping before we go on. Pedro Paulo, who will pop up in the stream, commented on my last video that there are 664 puzzles. That is correct. I don't know if I just got lost in the sauce there for a bit, thinking it was exactly 665, but it is 664, which does really hurt the number of the beast puzzles theory. He also brings up the idea of there are two endings. There's the true ending, and then there's the Willy Wonka restart ending. So you add 2 to that, you get 666. That's a fantastic point that I had not considered. And it brings up a very interesting idea because I was recently watching Jacob Geller talk about Silk Song. And that the idea of the apocalypse is not so much the ending, it is an unveiling. And it is not so much evil as it is just, the way everything wraps up. So there is actually a bit of a nice connection of looking at 666 not as the devil, but as the apocalypse. And if you did complete everything, you're done. You've done everything there is to do on the island. It's a fairly obvious take that I don't think I've ever said into this camera. So I just wanted to say that. So we're going to get into this. I'm going to let you know right now that this is the first time that player Noah has seen these puzzles or this area. So these are completely fresh eyes. So this is going to be more puzzle-centric. Usually player Noah had actually played this game once and has been seeing all these puzzles for the second time, so it's a little bit quicker on the trigger when it comes to figuring these things out. Give player Noah some grace going forward, is all I ask. Welcome, all you +2 comedy modifiers, back to the stream. Welcome back to Solving the Witness, a laid-back, annotated Let's Play where we try to discover the underlying meaning of the Witness. And today I come at you here having solved 431 panels plus 88 and uncharted. We're going into some uncharted territory here. We're going into the underground cave. This is an area that I've mentioned before. I have beaten this game and have gotten the Willy Wonka ending, but I never have done what's coming up next, so I'm going in 100% blind. So let's do this. I gotta remake this because last time I screwed this up. Here we go. There's no turning back now. So this is the area that I saw from through the glass. All right. And I'm guessing this just opens the door. It's not sealed in here. Okay. Oh, and it's on a timer. Okay, cool. I just wanted to do it in case it counts as a panel. Look at all the stuff I had to do. Look at it all. Now, new area. Oh, it's so dark in here. Alright, let's separate black from white, shall we? Boom. Ooh, uh-oh. Oh, uh-ohs. Uh-ohs. Already having problems. Boom. Boom. Uh-ohs. Uh-ohs. Boom. I think I got it. Boom.
Boom. Oh, so close. So close. Yeah, I thought that was it. Boom. No, that's stuck there. Yeah. Yeah. Hi. Oh, I gotta. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay, we can do that. This. We're still good. Here we go. We do this. Then I got. I don't know why backtracking seemed like such a good idea, but Yata, and then I'm stuck if I do that. But I can never separate. Yeah, that's not good. So maybe yeah. Oh, but this has to happen. No, all right. Boom. Yeah, that's not good. That works. Oh, oh. No. Wait, maybes? No. This is tougher than I thought it would be. Okay. Who? No, because that's not separating. Hug them like this. No, then that's not separated. Okay. Maybe like that. If I hug them like this, then I can do them like that. Then shake, 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 shake them. No, no, no. I guess separate just gotta be like that. But I could also do it like this. So that allows me to do this. But then I'm not. Unless you swoop in like that and hold them. There it is.
Let me just say, sitting back and witnessing that puzzle is really painful. So I'm sorry for you guys that have to watch these and see me struggle, because I'm so far removed from these streams, because this footage was recorded quite some time ago. To see myself fail what is kind of an easy puzzle, very frustrating. I just want to point out a small thing about this, and that is the repeated theme of a tiny opening. You will see a lot of these puzzles coming up. There is a break where you cannot go. I think this kind of opens up the interpretation of it being like a door or a barrier. Some of the barriers that you will see coming up are physical barriers. Some of them are just, gaps in the puzzle. But it does seem to be a repeated motif. I might be making too much out of this in that every area has a repeated motif, and maybe just the repeated motif of this area is unusable areas of the grid. But we'll see that a lot going forward.
Open says me. Hello, new area. It's a new area, so I'm legitimately like I'm playing a horror game. Like at any moment, I'm afraid something's about to pop out of me. I forgot to say TV's Noah here. Watermelon seltzer in hand. All right. Whoa. Ooh. What a weird area. Water's so clear, I want to go swim in. I go swimming? It literally looked like I could. It's an elevator? Yeah, I think there's an elevator here, so I guess I'm going to be making my way around. And I'll come back here. Kind of looks like a skull. I don't know. That panel's very far away. Can I do it from here? It's too far. Thought it was going to be a long distance puzzle. I can do it. I can go this way. Okay. Even the steps sound a little weird. Some rushing water. Hey, that's outside. So that would imply that there's at least some sort of way to look into where I am. That's interesting to think about because, like, you can see one of the lasers right here. Very interesting. All right. So these are brand new puzzles to me. Let's see what we got here. Ugh. I already hate this. Okay. So. That looks like it's twisted, so I can... Technically, it's actually thought of that. This could be a T-piece. But it doesn't quite fit. And it could still be a T-piece, and I could do this. So that links that up. And then that would... If I could go through here, but I can't. It's just me kind of like creating what I want it to be. And then, I mean, I guess, these are tough because I feel like they have to be combined somehow. So let's make this as tall as possible and let's rotate it so it's like this, all right? So mentally see this piece here, right? Yellow, it's so terrible. So this can be rotated then, so that it hits this piece here, and then see, I'm trying not to make the T piece the way. Oh man, this sucks. Because if I rotate this, I could. But it's got to be... Alright, so if I see it as rotated, it's definitely designed for me to think that there's a T-piece there, but I can't have a T-piece there. Well, I can, because of the L block. So I could do this, and technically that's all those pieces. Yeah, technically it is. And then I just have... Yeah, this piece has to be empty, though. Ugh. I think what has to happen is this piece here has to have this L block in it. Does that even make sense, what I just said? Not a whole lot of sense. Ooh, I'm actually going to take a step back from this one. All right, this is easier. Separate black and white, but include the suns. So they have to kind of come together right now over me. No, okay, hold on. There we go. Oh wait, this has to get separated. Yes.
Okay, I want you guys to understand something before I start talking here. It is my job to overanalyze everything that happens in this game. Like, the mission statement of this game is no stone left unturned. Let's like look at the assets, look at the surrounding, look at context historically. Let's really like dig in and see if there's something there that maybe someone has missed. That being said, Occam's razor, what's going on with these puzzles? These are puzzles that were deemed too hard to be in the main game. If you look at these puzzles, the puzzle I just solved is clearly from the treehouse area. The puzzle for that I was failing previously, which is all shape-based, that's probably the algae farm Tetris area. They have similar colors and things like that. This is extra content. This is hidden away content. This is cut content. So chances are all these puzzles are ideas that were deemed too difficult for the main game and were thrown here in the basement of the game to be like, yeah, here's some other stuff you can do. That's probably what's happening here. Let's overanalyze. So the puzzle I just created is clearly from the treetop area. Not just that, it is an orange panel. What these puzzles usually do is when you solve them, they open up from the bottom and continue a bridge of sorts so you can move around the treetops. Nothing happens when you solve this. There's also no indication that it's trying to do this. You know, when you break something, it still has like the gears and the motors in it that it attempts to still do it. Don't get that vibe from that. So I really would like to say that like, oh, this is activating a bridge somewhere, all that stuff. Probably not, but it's something to think about. Here's the big thing, though. I think I can, with a decent amount of certainty, figure out where that puzzle goes. If you go back and you look at the treehouse area, there is only one spot that has the suns that are orange with black and white dots. Those puzzles only appear on the final bridge to the laser. That's where the border is orange and the puzzle looks like this. Black and white dots with orange suns. What will eventually be the rule that gets learned as you continue on this is what do you do with black and white suns? Not orange suns, black and white suns that exist along with black and white dots that you have to separate within the puzzle. How do you handle that? That's what's eventually going to be learned. But that doesn't happen right away. First, you get puzzles that look like this. They are the first couple on this final bridge, which means they happen before, hopefully, the puzzle that I'm showing on screen right now, which is the puzzle with the turn. So this puzzle has 3 exits, which means that depending on how you end it, where the line ends, will determine the direction that the bridge goes. So, if this puzzle was designed to be one of the first, let's say, 5 on this bridge, that means the turn takes place 1 panel further. What would this mean for the map of the game? Well, the turn happens right before the house that contains the switch that activates the laser. Now, what you usually do is, or what you have to do, is you make the laser, or you make the bridge go to the right. This creates kind of like a landing plane right before this door. And then you walk across the bridge and meet up with a different orange bridge that allows you to get to the switch, which is timed, to open the door to the barn. Then you can run back across and get in and activate the laser. If this bridge was 1 panel longer, before this thing was removed, the panel that I just solved was removed, that would mean a few things. It would mean that instead of it being flush with the step to the barn that contains the laser switch, it would actually overlap with it. It also means that there would be a gap between the bridge you are on and the bridge that connects to the switch to open the door. So that would mean that maybe this panel was actually in play, included in the island, and then they realized, oh no, this no longer lines up correctly. We have to remove one, and this is the one that was removed. It would also mean that instead of it being flush up against it, that it would overlap with the landing. And if you went underneath it, you could no longer complete the environmental puzzle that's hidden underneath this bridge. So, perhaps game lore, this puzzle was part of the treetop area. It was one of the first 5 or so puzzles on the final orange bridge, and they had to remove it to make sure everything lined up correctly. If the bridge went straight, I don't think it would affect anything. If the bridge went to the left, that is what allows you to get to the burned out looking treehouse that has the optical illusion of the guy starting the fire with the leaves. I don't have as much of a big deal about going in those directions, but I think for lore purposes, we could say that this panel had to be removed to make the rest of the puzzles work.
So there's one. That's good. Feel good that I got that one. Hey, welcome. Pedro, you've left quite a few comments, if I remember correctly, on the videos. This is my first time in the underground cave, so this is all like super new to me. Oh god, I hate these color puzzles. I'm just going to try something. This is for experiment. Will it tell me which ones are wrong? It won't. What a miserable time. Alright, so I'm getting way too close to this. Okay. So these are all purple on the bottom, and these are all blue in reaction to that purple. So these are all the same color. This is not the same color. So that's a good first step, is knowing that. This seems to be the same color as these two appear to be the same color. This one does not, though. Because this has no, maybe. Ugh. Oh yeah, way ahead in the streams. I want to step away from that one too. I want to think about that later. Okay. Oh, okay. So pairs of 2 and only 2. So it's this and this. And then who?
So I get this one on the first try, and I've already stated that the Occam's razor explanation for this area these are puzzles that were deemed too difficult to live in the area where they are reflecting the rule that they're reflecting, and thus were thrown in this basement, and these are just extra puzzles to do that were cut from the main game. If this was too difficult to do, why did I solve it on the first try? Well, I actually have an answer to that. This looks to be a quarry puzzle. This is where they introduced the idea of the lose a rule symbol, which is the Y symbol, or the upside down Y symbol. This is not an area where they've introduced suns. Suns are introduced in the treetop, which tends to be an area that people go to late. They may have seen it as unfair to force someone to try to figure out the sun's rule when they may not have encountered it in the first place. Another thing that is tricky about this is your immediate instincts when seeing this should be, I need to keep the suns together, but I need to keep pink separated from green. It is impossible to keep, if you try to link them via suns, it's impossible to do it. So you may not have discovered the rule or the concept that a pink dot can work as a match to the sun according to that rule. So you may instinctually think, well, the suns are impossible, but I have the lose a rule symbol here. I need to use that to lose the rule of the suns. And I could see someone getting stuck on that idea, and that's why this puzzle is so difficult. I never had that thought, and thus I didn't get stuck in it, and thus it was easy for me. But I could totally see in, like, beta testing if that became an issue and they decided to remove this puzzle. That's my guess for this puzzle.
Got it. That was a first try, boy. Okay. So 2 of those I found very easy. 2 of them I find unbelievably difficult. Okay. So what we got going on here? This shape here is not a shape I can actually make ever. Like, just because it would have to be like this, but I'd also have to cut out that middle square. So it doesn't work. So ideally you want to stick this middle piece in there and make a T-piece. Something that looks like this. And it's designed to not let me do that exact thing right here. I guess I can't do it because, yeah. The color puzzle is the second hardest puzzle in the whole island, in my opinion. What's number 1? Is it the boat? The ship? Because I hate the ship. Yes. Yes, it's terrible. Okay, so let's pretend I do this. Alright? If I put the T-piece here, just like that, I could then lay the L down like this. So that's the L piece. No, I can't really do that, though. It would have to be more like this. Yeah, there we go. Boom. Boom. That is technically correct for those shapes. The issue now is I have not included the other piece. Alright, I'm trying another. No, that doesn't work. Gotta get rid of this. Like, I feel like that space right there in between should be where this, like, L is. So, like, I'm just trying to picture it in my brain here. No, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't. No, it would fit. It would be boom, boom. I can't quite make it work the way I want right now. So then it would come up here, but I can't go through here. If I stick if I stick this part of it into here, I create an area that a T-piece can go, right? Like, if this is here, let's just say, that's here. And then I stick that piece into this piece here, it would be like this. Okay. And then if I took the T piece I create with that and stuck it into that hole, what would that look like? It would be 3 across here. Just picturing it in my brain. 3 across here. Now, that's not 5 high is the problem. Yeah, it's not high enough. So what would happen if I stuck this lower part into this hole? How would that look? It would not count this, and then it would be 3 high. Like, because I'm imagining the L piece here, and then I'm sticking it into that piece, so it looks like that. That would be what that looked like. So if I wanted to stick the T piece, I can put this here, but I haven't captured, like, that's all the pieces right there, fit together in a very strange way. But it doesn't, I need to make something that's at least 5 high, because I'm guessing these are all have to be interconnected in some way. So the shape I make has to be 5 high, which to me means that the L piece has to be tall, like this. Okay? So if it's tall like this, and then I stuck it into that piece, how would that look? The L piece is here, and then would come up like this, but there's that issue. Well, if the L piece is upside down, let's say, and that's upside down, like, let's say I do like this, and then the L piece is here. It would be rotated the other way. So it would actually be like that, which I can't do. I mean, I could still stick these 2 pieces together, because I can rotate these and kind of make like a shape like this. Right, imagine, is that right? Yeah, that would be that shape. Plus the dot would be here. And then if I make the L piece, I can stick all these on top. But now it's probably not, it's also got to be 5 wide. It's got to be 5 wide to fit all the pieces. So, now what? If I stuck, I could technically stack them like this. No, because there'd be a 2 block empty spot. If I stuck them into each other across, that would be 5. Like, right? Because if I'm laying it down, so it'd be 4 across. It'd be 4 across the way I'm thinking of it. It'd be like, boo, ooh, ooh, ooh. I can make this shape. That is those shapes together. Okay, that's interesting to think about. Okay. And then if I were to lay in I could technically also do this, lay that in here. Then these guys are linked like this. I think that's correct, and then this can just screw off and be its own thing. No, that feels correct to me. Why is that wrong? 5 across. No, it's only 4 across. That's my issue. It should be like that. Well, I chose the wrong way to do this. I mean, it's fine for now, though. Like, and then it would have to be this box, but I can't get to this box up. So then I'd have to stick this in here. That may. I can't even do it the other way because I'll run into the same issue. 1, 2, 3. Like that. 4. And then I'd have to go up here, but I can't go up here. So if I kept it going just across, I could do... No, don't do it like that. 1, 2, 3. I could do it like this. Well, no, because this is going to be an issue regardless. Gosh darn it. Let me just slide it over here so I can freaking think about it. Alright, so those are those two shapes together. I could stick in the L block. And then I could pretend like the L block is here. It would have to go up through here, which I can't do. Like, no, I still can't do it. I mean, I can pretend the L block is sitting here with that, and then... That feels good. But, like, if I slide this over one piece, it doesn't quite fit. But I do have one block I could move. I think this is it. I just think I gotta shift this one. That does work. Okay. Just look at it. Imagine it in your brain. That, because that's that. I'm a little lost in what I'm doing. Hold on. I thought I had it. I thought I had it. It's so confusing. Pretending that piece is there. And then I'd have to do this. I'd have to come up like this. No. No, this doesn't work. It kind of works. What? Like, I almost see it. I'm almost seeing it. It's... there's the L block. I rotate the 3-piece and lock the other 3-piece in it. No, because if I do... That's actually one too many blocks currently. This is technically... This could be correct? No, there's the L block. Yeah, this is correct. Because it's got the L block, it's got the 3-piece, and it's got the dot. So then if I connected that somehow into this, could it work? I could... would be rotate. No, that doesn't work. Because I gotta hit that piece somehow. So I'm trying to think of different ways I can kind of shove it in there. I don't have... Wait, I see it. I'm seeing it. No. What? No, because I can't get back. That's the issue, is getting back now. It would have to... Hold on. There's the L. There's that piece. And if I link them in, just imagine the L piece there, and then remember that there, right? That T piece would be there. See it as that piece. Flip that piece. It does fit, but I won't get the other thing inside of it. That's the issue. Okay. I'm going to take a walk from this. I'm going to take a little walk from this. Just because, like, the way I have to think about that is so not good for Twitch. And I'd rather walk around and philosophize. Like, this appears to be a stack of boards, perhaps making a fence or railroad tracks.
Yeah, or they could be the boards for the building you're standing in, genius.
And probably not railroad tracks. This is going to be... Oh, these are the... I like these types of puzzles here. Ooh, multiple answers are always fun. So I got to separate. I'm not at the right angle for this. I can just do it like this. There we go. Doop. Blam. You get close. You get close if you want it. I can. All right. Well, I might come back to it. I think it might have just been one of those things where I was like, I need a moment away from it. These are always so tough. You wanted to. I bet it's standing like this, right? So now I can just be like, boom. Oh no, I can't. I can't do what I thought I wanted to. What I wanted to do there. Ooh, I can't do what I want to do, no matter how I stand. This. That's separated. That's separated. Why is that wrong? Why was that wrong? Right? Okay. I don't know what I did differently, but I apparently screwed it up the first time. I also feel like there's multiple answers to these, and that always makes me nervous. Makes me nervous. Alright, so 3. Ooh, how am I going to do this guy? Well... Ooh, how am I going to do this guy? I'm going to have to be... Maybe, I think you're right. I think you're right. How am I going to do this? Because how am I going to enclose stuff that I can't even see? Because, like, I can't do that. So, like, how am I going to enclose... I can't enclose all the boxes. Ooh, this is an interesting one. Because, like, the fact that I can see all these three, I can be like... 3 more here. Then these. Hold on. I almost had it. Like there's these three are going to be together. This is going to be three out this way. This will be three here. And I can just be like blam. Like, so there's that. But the other one I can't even see. How am I supposed to incorporate it into a shape? It's got to be something. Like, I feel like it's got to. All right, it's 3 by 3, right? It'd be 4. I could just make a 4 by 3 block. Like, technically that would be all the shapes, but I'm not incorporating all of the lines where it currently is. So maybe. Oh, that's exactly what I gotta do. I talked it out. Awesome. That's a cool puzzle. I like that one. Alright, so this one is not a rotating 3 block. So I also don't think this is a problem. Actually, it's a bit of a problem. No, I don't think this is a problem.
I find these puzzles to be very upsetting. I'm going to go into it a little bit more as player Noah, but I want to jump in here as editor Noah. The fact that these have multiple exits, to me, really implies that there's only one correct answer. Like, we are reminded of the treehouse earlier in a puzzle, where, depending on how you exit the maze, will dictate the way that the bridge goes. To have that subtle reminder right before these puzzles that are on a floor, similar to those, and not put into question why is there multiple exits, is super annoying. I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of distance between editor Noah and player Noah, so I don't know if there's more to this that I do actually solve, but the theory is there of, like, something is wrong. Why are there multiple exits? There must be a more correct solution. I also wanted to just bring up the repetition of the 3-dot line, the 3-dot Tetris piece that appears in multiple of these. That kind of reflects the fact that there's a bunch of boards in this area. And that's kind of nice. That's all.
And again, like, I'm worried because I chose different paths for each. Like, perhaps I was supposed to make them all go to the left to power something to the left, and this one's to the right. Which I guess I can just easily fix right now. Right, left. Stop being stupid. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now everything's going the same direction. No. No, I'm just dumb. There we go. I think the set of puzzles are kind of other versions of the puzzles you solve to enter the mountain for 2 reasons. Okay. Because I don't see a cable connected to these, so I feel like they're not powering anything. Alright, so I know that there's 2 back there I need to go back and do at some point. But I like getting a chance to look around. The sound effect is the same idea of something blocking your view, but you can't move around. Why this vantage point? Try to solve it from here. So it's kind of... It almost looks like the colors are different from up here. Like I'm supposed to be able to, like, zoom in on this and see it from a better perspective. This is just letting me see stuff, it looks like. Can I hit this? Too far away. Why this perspective? What's here? What am I missing? Maybe just to show me that? I don't know. Why this perspective? There was 3 ways I could go. The middle one led me to nothing. Up. Oh, God. Alright, let me just look out amongst this. Hey! Alright, we're still doing those. Those are still around. So I'm glad I caught that. Just looking around to see if there's any more anywhere. Don't. Oh. So now I'm also super paranoid about hexagons. Oh God, these puzzles. Can I ask what you already found / do in the caves? In this area, I've only found some panels. That is the first environmental I have found. I have found 0 audio clips. If there's any audio down here, I believe there will be. Well, that was weird. Oh, it's just distance, I guess.
And that's going to do it for this edition of Solving the Witness. Here are your takeaways. The idea of there being 664 puzzles with 2 endings bring you to 666. Also, the idea that 666 doesn't represent evil or the devil, but simply an ending like the apocalypse. Apocalypse not meant to be in like a scary way, just represent ending, completion. The treehouse puzzle, I talked about that at length. I probably think that the easiest answer is just it's a puzzle from the treehouse area that's similar. But the fact that it looks like that does seem to be, like there seems to be an exact location where I could stick that puzzle. So the fact that I could do that I thought was a bit suspicious. The thing with the broken rule, the quarry puzzle that's in this room, I think I explained that well. I don't know if you'll have any questions or comments about it, but I did a cut-in for it. And what are these damn puzzles on the floor? Why do they have multiple exits? Is there a more correct way? There's such a mechanical noise when you solve them that makes me think it's got to be powering something or doing something. Like that audio tell just seems to be so important, but I can't seem to get anything out of it. Thank you so much for joining me and sticking with this series. And be sure to subscribe right here to +2 Comedy Gaming so you can get a notification next time we try to solve The Witness. I need an orange juice. I'm very sick.